Hi, Scary Recaps here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Vicious Fun from 2020. Beware of spoilers. In 1983, in Minnesota, a man with a wicked face offers a young woman a ride. The woman enters his car and sees him grinning with evil satisfaction. But suddenly, the woman takes out a butterfly knife and stabs the man to death. Joel, a horror film journalist working for the magazine Vicious Fanatics, interviews an infamous B-movie director named Jack Portwood. Joel isn't very fond of Jack's view on the horror genre and enthusiastically mentions an idea of his about a movie with cab driver killers. Jack humors Joel for a while before sending him away, advising him to change the name of his magazine to Vicious Fun instead of Vicious Fanatics. That night, Joel is dictating his idea to his tape recorder when he notices Sarah, his roommate he has a crush on, making out with her boyfriend in his car. When Sarah walks in, she tells Joel that she's going to have a girls' night, politely asking him to leave the house. Joel leaves and watches Sarah's boyfriend driving away. Jealous of him, Joel follows him to a Chinese restaurant. Playing the detective, Joel, who introduces himself as Dave, chats with Sarah's boyfriend. He learns his name is Bob and that he's a real estate agent. The two men talk for a while, and Joel learns that Sarah thinks he is a terrible roommate and feels sorry for him, allowing him to stay with her out of pity. Soon, Bob hooks up with another girl and leaves Joel to pay for their drinks. Disappointed by what Sarah thinks of him, Joel gets drunk and after a while goes to phone Sarah. He runs into the woman who killed the driver at the beginning of the film, and after talking with Sarah, he passes out in a storage room. When he wakes up, Joel finds himself entangled in a strange meeting inside the Chinese restaurant. The members of this meeting are Zachary, Mike, Hideo, Fritz, and Carrie, the woman Joel saw before he passed out. The members ask Joel if he's Phil, and Joel, not sure of their intentions, replies yes. Thinking he is in a weird group therapy session, Joel speaks vaguely about getting help for his unknown addiction. Mike talks about his passion, and Hideo is worried about the empty chair among them. Zachary reassures everyone about those present. As the members speak with each other, Joel realizes that he is sitting among serial killers. He begins to freak out, and when suddenly he is asked why he is there, Joel doesn't know what to say when suddenly it dawns on him. He mentions that he is a cab driver killer and that he is perfect as taxi drivers have zero connection to their victims. The rest of the serial killers find this interesting, and Joel feels a little relieved. As the group is having a break, Joel tries to escape the room when a banging at the door stops him short. Zachary tells Joel to unlock the door and see who it is. Joel does so, and surprisingly enough, sees Bob walking in. Bob is thrilled to see Joel/Dave/Phil among his colleagues. Bob greets the rest of the killers and asks Joel to tell him about his methods. Joel tries to convince Bob that he is a cab driver killer, but Bob doesn't buy it. Soon, Joel finds himself in a tough spot as everyone starts to get suspicious of him. Bob then locks the door, and Joel is forced to admit that he is not who they think he is. He tries to escape, but he is trapped between the serial killers, who ask him who he really is. Joel begs them not to kill him and says that he got drunk and was somehow left there. Carrie verifies this, but the rest aren't feeling comfortable with this interloper. They check his ID, and Zachary, as the man responsible for this meeting, suggests that they should let him go, giving him a 5-minute head start, and then decide who will go after him. Michael says that he should be the one who will hunt Joel, but Zachary, who is more experienced and has killed many more people, tells Mike to back down. Mike doesn't seem inclined to do as he's told and stabs Zachary in the neck, with Hideo and Fritz finishing Zachary off. As Zachary dies, Joel runs away and drops his tape recorder. The killers are baffled by this, and Carrie kicks Joel and sends him to the kitchen. She locks the doors behind her and tells Joel that she is there to kill the serial killers. Bob realizes that things have gone bad for everyone there and asks Carrie to let him inside the kitchen. Carrie denies entrance, threatening them with an axe blow to the head, and Bob wonders about Joel's tape recorder and Phil's absence. Carrie asks Joel who he really is, and Joel says that he is a horror journalist and just followed Bob there because he dated his roommate. In the meantime, Bob puts on music to keep Carrie from listening to his plan. Carrie tells Joel that Bob, Hideo, Fritz, and Mike are responsible for 12% of all of the unsolved murders in North America. Hideo is a part-time cannibal slasher, Mike is a brawny savage guy with anger management issues who loves killing college students. Fritz is the stone-cold killer who poses as the mad scientist and dresses like a clown. Last but not least, Bob Nice is your friendly neighborhood sociopath killer who works with fake IDs, practically a chameleon. Joel wonders how Carrie knows all these things, and Carrie tells him that she works for a top-secret organization hell-bent on eliminating all of the serial killers in the country. As the killers try to infiltrate the kitchen, Carrie comes up with a plan of her own. She shows Joel Phil's dead body and tells him what to do. Hideo is the first person to enter the kitchen. He sees Joel lying face down with Phil's intestines by his side. Carrie is hiding, armed with a meat cleaver. Fritz attempts to enter the kitchen via a back door, but Carrie severs his fingers and Joel throws Phil's bowels at Hideo. Meanwhile, Bob looks at Joel's driver's license and swears as he discovers his connection with Sarah. Hideo throws a knife at Joel, but misses by an inch. Preparing to kill Joel, Hideo is attacked by Carrie, who uses Phil's intestines to strangle him to death. Bob tells Joel that he will kill Sarah, and Joel activates the fire alarm. Bob then phones the police, saying that Carrie is a killer who broke into the restaurant, and Joel is her accomplice. Carrie mentions this to Joel, telling him that they now have to deal with 3 serial killers and the police. Joel browses Carrie's notebook, and Carrie asks him about Sarah and his tape recorder. Joel admits that he wanted to protect Sarah by recording Bob and proving to Sarah that he wasn't good enough for her. When the police come, Carrie and Joel surrender and are soon taken into custody. Bob and his fellow serial killers are watching from inside their car when Bob says that they are about to have a fun night. At the police station, Joel and Carrie are interrogated. Joel tells them everything he knows, while Carrie warns the officers about the dangers they're facing from the serial killers. The officers don't believe them and decide to hold them there. Joel calls Sarah to warn her not to come to the police station, but Sarah insists on coming. Joel attempts to use the phone one more time, but Carrie jumps at him and hits him in the face, yelling at him for ratting them out. In the cells, Carrie says that she needed a distraction to grab a paperclip, hence the headbutt. Joel says that he tried to warn Sarah, and Carrie tells him that he can't make anyone fall in love with him just like that. Bob soon comes to the station, disguised as a special agent. He sees Joel and Carrie and fools the officers, acting like he's evaluating the situation. In the office, Bob asks the officers if they have listened to Joel's tape recorder. They say no, and as they begin to listen to it, Bob prepares to kill them. The officers, however, are too shocked to hear of Joel's recordings and stop. Bob loosens up and talks casually with them, but as he checks up on Carrie's notebook, he tells the officers that things are much worse than he expected. Meanwhile, Fritz surprises the officer who is waiting at his desk and paralyzes him with an injection. He kills him with a nail in his forehead and drags his lifeless body away. As the lights go out, the other 2 officers who are sitting with Bob freak out. One of them goes to investigate. At the same time, Carrie succeeds in unlocking her cell door. The officer that goes to check the power supply has his hand severed by Mike, who eventually kills him with a machete. Bob kills the last officer by stabbing him in his ears with pencils. Afterwards, the 3 killers go to the cells, where they find out that Carrie and Joel have escaped. Carrie and Joel reach the exit, and Carrie tells Joel to leave. Joel refuses at first, but Carrie says that she doesn't need him. Inside the station, Carrie manages to surprise Mike and kill him with his own machete. Joel runs away, but thinking of Carrie, he stops and turns back. Sarah approaches the police precinct, but finds it locked. As Carrie slowly turns the power back on, Fritz unlocks one of the doors and hides, allowing Sarah to enter. Sarah is startled by Fritz, but defends herself perfectly well until Joel arrives. Carrie comes as well and injects Fritz with his own paralyzing cocktail. Carrie then asks for Sarah to wait outside. Sarah leaves, and Carrie smiles at Joel for coming back to her. She tips over a heavy desk and smashes Fritz's head. Suddenly, Joel warns her, but Bob stabs Carrie from behind. He goes to finish her when Joel gets in the way and gets stabbed in his arm. Disarmed, Bob attempts then to strangle Carrie, but Joel hits him in the head with a telephone and knocks him down. Joel takes Carrie away and puts her into Sarah's car. Sarah starts the engine and sees Bob standing ahead. Joel tells her to drive, and Sarah hits Bob with her car. Bob falls to the ground, seemingly dead. At the hospital, Joel has the knife removed from his arm, at which he screams and swears at the doctor. As Carrie is treated, Sarah asks Joel if Carrie is his girlfriend. Joel replies no, saying that she is a great friend who has saved his life. On her behalf, Sarah thanks Joel for saving her from Bob. The doctor comes and says that Carrie is going to be alright despite the loss of blood. Joel goes to drink some water when he notices drops of blood and a familiar handbag in one of the storage rooms. Bob is alive. Joel runs to Carrie's room where Bob limps menacingly towards her. Holding a scalpel, Bob goes to kill Carrie when Joel intervenes and Carrie blocks Bob's hand. Joel hits Bob in the head with a bedpan and pushes him away from Carrie. As the two fight, Bob directs his scalpel towards him, but Carrie comes and disarms him. Joel then holds Bob's hand against the wall and Carrie stabs Bob multiple times in his abdomen. Carrie then stabs Bob's eye with his scalpel. In his attempt to remove the scalpel, Bob pulls out his eyeball. He gurgles, "Good luck," and falls dead on the floor. Joel is happy that he didn't gag, but soon after, he throws up. Carrie then tells him that she is soon going to need an intern. Joel takes Carrie out of the hospital in a wheelchair. Sarah waves at him and Joel smiles before leaving with Carrie. A little while later, Joel walks into a movie theater. He notices a movie poster with the title Taxi Cab Driller and says to himself that it was a good idea. He then goes to grab a few snacks, but the employee informs him that they are closed. Joel wonders why and what the man is doing there. The employee says that he's restocking the shelves, and Joel finds that odd. Joel then goes to the toilet where he sees the real employee tied and gagged to the floor. Joel walks to the man, who apparently is a serial killer. Carrie appears behind him and kills him with an axe blow to the head. Later, Joel enters Carrie's car holding snacks, but Carrie tells him he forgot something. Joel re-enters the movie theater and takes the axe, but not without gagging. The two of them drive off as a huge screen plays a scene from a horror movie. In a post-credit scene, it is shown how the director, Jack Portwood, used Joel's idea to make his movie, Taxi Cab Driller.